Welcome again to the part 4 of chapter 6. So in this part, we will discuss about the accounting for long-term contracts and solve two problems. And there will also be one problem for you to solve at home. So let's go to the discussion. So in the revenue recognition principles, we have 5 steps as we already know. So the step 2 and step 5 are really important because we know that in the step 2, if we have more than one obligations, so in that case we will be allocating the transaction price to all the performance obligations, correct? So but in case of long-term contracts, we have only one contract, but it is long-term, okay? It may take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, okay? So in that case, what we will do, we will be allocating the price, meaning the revenue based on the percentage we completed, okay? And step 5, revenues are recognized when each performance obligation is satisfied. But in this case, what we will do, we will be recognizing revenue over the period of time based on the progress towards the completion, okay? So let's see one more thing. So just think that this is our entire job that we will be performing, say for example for the next 5 years, okay? And if we divide the works into 4 parts, see this, there are 4 parts here, it is 25, 25, 25 and 25. Okay, say for example we completed this part first, so this is the 25% of the total work. So if in the first year, say in the first year we completed only this 25%, okay? So what we will do, we will recognize revenue for this 25% only, okay? And say for example after third year we completed 75% of the total works, okay? And in that case we will recognize 75% of the revenue, okay? This is how it works. So now let's go to solve two problems, so it will be better to understand by examples, okay? So here are two, this is the problem set 3. We have, see that we have 3 problems over here. So problem number 1, 2 and 3. I will solve these 2 problems, problem 1 and 2. And you will be solving this problem number 3 at home, okay? So let's go. So here is the problem we have. So these problem sets as well as these this Excel file will also be on Learn. So I have already created the template for you. Here is the problem. So the problem number 1, it is saying long-term contract revenue recognition over time and at a point in time. So we can have 2 options. We may recognize revenue over the period of time as the percentage of completion, or we may recognize revenue at a point in time. So whatever may be the case, let's read the problem and try to solve it, okay? Let's first read the problem. So the problem is saying, assume that Nortel Networks contracted to provide a customer with internet infrastructure for 2 million. It is saying 2 million. The project began in 2018 and was completed in 2019. Data relating to the contract are summarized below. So the cost incurred during the year, estimated cost to complete, billings during the year, cash collections during the year. So we have these informations, and compute the amount of revenue and gross profit to or loss to be recognized in 2018 and 19 assuming that the Nortel recognized revenue over time. Okay, here is the key. So if they recognize revenue over time, so we need to think about the percentage of completion of the works. Okay, so now let's go to solve the problem. So what they are saying, they want to recognize revenue over the year. So here is the requirement number one. So the contract price, let's start with the contract price. So the contract price is 2 million. 2 million is the contract price. Okay, and then actual cost to date. So what is the actual cost to date? Cost incurred. This one is the actual cost to date. So this one is 300,000, and this year they have see that in this year, I mean in 2019 they have spent 1,575,000. See that? So 1 million in 2019, and let me use the underline. And 300,000 in 2018. So we are saying actual cost to date. So until 2019, so how much we have spent? So it should be equal to 1,575,000 plus this 300,000. So it's gonna be total 1,875,000 actual cost to date. Okay, and then estimated cost to complete. So the estimated cost to complete is given 1,200,000. Okay, so in 2018 1,200,000, and nothing is in just a zero in 2019. Okay, so underline. So total cost actually total estimated cost. Okay, so total estimated cost, it would be 300,000 plus 1,200,000, this one, and this year it should be this one plus this one, so these two. So total cost, and let's use the underline again, and then based on this the gross profit would be equal to this is actually based on this one, so this 2 million minus this cost. Okay, and here 2 million minus this cost. So this is the total gross profit for that year. Okay, and now revenue recognition. How much revenue we will be recognizing in 2018 and 19? So before going to do that, so let's see the formula. So the percentage completed would be actual cost to date and divided by total estimated cost, and the revenue recognized should be equal to percentage completed to date multiplied by the total estimated revenue, and if we already recognized revenue in the prior years, we must subtract that one. Okay, and the gross profit would be equal to revenue in the year T minus cost in the year T. So in 2018, what would be the revenue? First one is, so the percentage, let's write the percentage completed. How? So percentage completed will be equal to actual cost to date divided by total estimated cost, this one. So this is 20% in 2018, and in 2019, so we will just recognize the remaining amount of revenue. So it should be equal to, so total revenue, this contract price multiplied by this percentage completed. Okay, this is the amount of revenue we will recognize in 2018. Okay, and in 2019 it should be 2 million minus this amount we recognized in 2018. So this is the total amount of revenue recognized for the year 2018 and 19. Okay, and how about the gross profit? So gross profit would be equal to the amount of revenue in 2018, and say it is 400,000 minus the cost to date is 300,000, 100,000, and in 2018 it should be equal to this amount minus the amount of cost 1,575,000, 1,575,000, because this is the amount of cost we have actually invested, we have spent this amount of money, meaning 1,575,000 standalone money we have spent in 2019. So the requirement to it is saying that how much revenue and gross profit would be recognized in 2018 and 19 if the project does not qualify for revenue recognition over time. So in that case, what we will do, say that, so in 2018 there will be 0, okay, because it does not qualify for partial revenue. Okay, so the entire amount would be recognized in 2019, correct? So the amount of revenue would be this amount. So let's write, I just want to, okay, revenue, okay, and definitely the gross profit would be equal to this 2 million. Okay, I have not subtracted this 300,000 in 2018, so we will be subtracting the entire amount. That is, this should be equal to this amount, cost to date. Okay, so I hope you got it. And in the balance sheet, what we will do, requirement 3, so we have some current assets to be recognized, so, and that would be, say, accounts receivable, and that is equal to 130, and cost and profit in excess of billings, and that should be equal to, see, 400,000 minus 380,000. How do we get that? So this is and how do we get the 400,000? So 400,000 would be equal to, we have spent 300,000 plus we have a profit in 2018 100,000, which is equal to 400,000. Okay, and come to the balance sheet for prepare a partial balance sheet to show how the information related to this contract would be presented at the end of 2018 if the project doesn't qualify for revenue recognition over time. Okay, if it doesn't qualify for recognition over time, so what we can do, so in that case we have current assets, that is accounts receivable, it is gonna be 130,000, and current liabilities, it should be, so let me show you, so 380,000 minus the cost, so it's gonna be 80,000. Okay, this is how we present. And now come to